Welcome to the bonus level.
Hello again, and welcome back to the Bonus Level Podcast. This is level 20, and I, of course, am Jack, and joined with me, as usual, the wonderful Josh and the brave Luch.
Yeah.
How you guys doing?
Doing good. I just realized that I totally should have waited to post that picture during the intro of this.
No. And for everybody listening that has no clue what you're talking about, he did a bad Photoshop of my face over a very bad Photoshop of my face over a illustration from my character from our Dungeons and Dragons campaign, and it is going to give me nightmares tonight, I'm sure.
Just wrecked his dreams.
So that's what he's referring to. Anyways, welcome to the level 20, and this week we have a fun and more gentle conversation. Level 20 is going to be a smooth sailing. It's going to be like the level after the really hard level, because last week was a little intense. It was a little uptight, so the simulation theory was a little, little edgy.
So serious.
So serious. And this week it's going to be a little bit more smooth sailing. So it's like almost think of it as in like you just defeated a boss, a very, hard boss. And now we're taking this next level to gather items and to heal up and have a nice, maybe a couple cutscenes. You're talking to people, think of it like that, right? I mean, that's what we're going for. So this week we're going to talk about free-to-play games and the culture of free-to-play games versus AAA titles. And so this is going to be very gaming-centric, of course. But there is a very large, obviously the gaming industry is huge, right? I mean, consoles, computers, handheld, mobile devices. I mean, just everything. The gaming market share is massive, and there's all different ways that people put out games. We're specifically going to be looking at free to play versus, again, AAA titles. So games you would pay like $60 for the most part on a console.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And where we're starting, of course, unless you're under a rock in the gaming world, you would know that a game came out from Respawn Entertainment and EA called Apex Legends this week, and it is a free-to-play title across all platforms, PC and console, so PlayStation and Xbox. And it is a fresh take on a battle royale. It's an excellent, polished, well-done game that came out for free, right?
It's not that good. I keep dying.
There's this really cool aspect of it where you have to be good at the game to win.
Yeah,
and it's very interesting.
I don't get what I pay for.
Exactly. No, and it came out and it's for free, and so obviously that's odd, right? Because most games like this, like for instance a Call of Duty title, everybody's familiar with Call of Duty, comes out, it's $60. You pay for it, and that's it. You own it. But a free-to-play games such as this one can often be the most popular. So we're going to take a look at all those different things and what our feelings of that whole, two-sided coin and the pros and cons of both. And we're going to discuss it. But first, so Apex Legends, right? We've all been playing it. We all like it. It hit in its first week 25 million players.
Yeah.
25 million.
That's freaking fun, dude.
A lot of people playing the game.
This game is sick. Like, I haven't enjoyed a game like this in a long time. I am having fun.
Yes. And it's one of those games where you don't have to win every time for it to still feel fun. Like, we can play it, we can have a really good round. Maybe it was intense, maybe it was very competitive. We fought a couple other teams that were very good, or whatever. We had a good round and we didn't win, but it was still like, wow, that was a good game. Let's drop again, kind of thing, which is really cool. But again, instead of like diving into the game itself, let's take a step back and talk about so it's free to play, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which means that there's no paywall. You don't have to shell out a single coin to enjoy the game. You download it, you play it. However, with most free to play games, and I think pretty much every single one, they have to have some way to get revenue, right? There has to be some way to get money to come back into the gaming studio, to go back to the developers that made the game. So for instance, in most games, what it comes down to is cosmetics.
Mm-hmm.
So things that enhance what you look at. So skins on your characters, different add-ons to your character, skins on the weapons that you use, et cetera, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
They don't actually help you win the game or do anything inside the game other than look pretty.
Mm-hmm.
And that drives revenue like crazy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so because of that, you have a huge draw for people to be willing to drop money and actually shell out, money or to pull out their wallet on a free to play game, because they feel like if they're enjoying it, it deserves their money. Whereas if they paid the money up front to have the game, they're a lot less likely to put money in after that. Would you agree or not agree?
I agree.
I'm with you in a lot of ways that I agree with some of that, but then at the same time, for the time that we spent playing PlayerUnknown Battleground, like you couldn't breathe in that game without having to pay money. Like every single thing that you did in that game, you had to pay money for, but you had to pay for the game up front when it was still in its beta. And then everything that you wanted to do, any skins or anything, like you get in any lobby and 50% of the people have paid content that they're wearing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like we were able to get some back in the beta time, like we were able to get some loot boxes and stuff like that and get a few items. But for the most part, we weren't getting like any of the really cool stuff. It was, I got a tank top, I got black pants. I'm not talking about people wearing that stuff. People are wearing stuff that you had to go to the store and buy.
Mm-hmm.
And they've already paid money to do it. That's the thing that makes me question if it's, the fact that it's free, or if it's just the fact that people love to customize their stuff. Like me personally, I love customizing, but at the same time, I don't mind working towards my customization. Where if I know that I have to spend a certain amount of time playing things, or I have to unlock things to customize, I will work hard for that. I don't generally spend money on it. I will work towards it.
But and I think
so I like being able to have both options.
But I think that goes into like the whole school of thought, though. Again, it's there's a difference between being able to earn cosmetic content and purchase it. So the person that doesn't feel like grinding 10 hours to get that one hat, he can just buy it, right? Or the person that does grind it to get it, it feels more accomplished because like, he earned that. And then there's this, the inner struggle between the people that are like, well, if I grind 10 hours for something, he shouldn't be able to just buy it. It should be exclusive to me grinding to get it.
Exactly. Yeah, that's something, and I'm not sure exactly how it works in the Call of Duty Black Ops, but I know in the Blackout mode, we were doing those quests to try unlocking those characters. I think the only way to unlock certain characters in there is to complete the mission. Like you don't get to buy the zombie mode and then you automatically get them trained. It doesn't do it like that. So that's what makes certain aspects, like that's why I really enjoyed that part of it. Was chasing down those different characters, trying to earn them, because some of the different challenges were super hard, that it was really fun to try accomplishing. And I knew that once I was able to get that skin, that no one else was going to be able to have it unless they had completed that mission as well. Like no one could just come in and buy it. And I mean, you could always tell the ones that come and just buy stuff, because those are the skins that are just flashy as all get out. They look like a beacon, a lighthouse or something like that, just flashing around the screen.
And like buying a skin wouldn't be that bad if it didn't cost $20 for a single skin.
That's the crazy thing too, is the amount that you have to spend on that stuff. League of Legends, I think, did a really good job with their system, especially their gifting system. because when we first started playing around the holidays, it was guaranteed that I was probably getting you a skin for both your birthday and Christmas.
And Christmas, right?
You know, because it was like $5, give a mystery skin to a friend. It's like, all right, well, I got $20, I got 4 friends, so I'm gonna throw, you know, like that was something that I felt good spending on my friends because it was, you know, something random to do. But then at the same time, I didn't feel like there are some skins in that game that are very expensive, but then at the same time, there's some pretty cheap ones and ways to earn them
like
and,
the
and
platinum
grind them and
ones
stuff like that.
$30. Like the
yeah.
one and like the Gun Goddess one.
Yeah. Some of them are.
But those, like, you
25.
get, you transform in the middle of combat and you get all these different colors all in one package.
They're definitely dope.
But in Apex, you spend $20 and you get a super thick Pathfinder.
I haven't even looked at what you can buy in Apex.
Yeah, I haven't either.
Like I've been
But that's
having
the thing,
so much
though,
fun
is
just
that
grinding
because
things
you
out.
can get loot boxes and unlock, legendary things. There's no real like need for me to be like, oh, I'm going to put money in this. Yeah. So again, it comes down to, I mean, even League, you can buy those skins when they first come out. You can have them, but it's the same. They don't separate the things that you can grind for from the things that you can buy. Correct. So you can spend $25, and get the DJ Sona skin, or you can
in the very next game get a box and
you can get a loot box and open it and get it. Like I have 2 of the $25 skins in League that I didn't pay for, that I just randomly got.
Yeah. Did you really?
So that was
my Spirit Guard Udyr that
he just got that the other day. I have the Lux one, the Elementalist Lux, and I have
nice.
the what's the other one? I have one of the other ones. Pulsefire Ezreal.
Yeah.
That's, super expensive. And neither of those I bought. Both of those I got in things. Now, don't get me wrong. I have put money into that game because, I have hours and hours and probably, months worth of time over the past 8 years in that game. But it's one of those things where, I enjoy it. So I want to, whether it's give gifts, whether it's get something for me, whatever, because, I enjoy it so much. And I don't feel like I'm wasting my money because I'm actually enjoying it. I'm actually having fun, and I didn't pay for the game. But to go back to what you said, Josh, how you kind of want to argue against even games that have loot crates, like Counter-Strike was really big for buying skins, and there was a lot of scandal and all of that around loot boxes and selling and scamming and all that. But I think that there's an infographic, and the one that you found. And I think this infographic actually completely debunks what you just said as far as people and what they're willing to spend. Free-to-play games total revenue in 2017 was $7.1 billion.
Yeah.
$7.1 billion from the top PC free-to-play games, okay? And that's not even including console either. So some of these games are also available on other platforms.
Yeah.
And then PC paid games, so AAA titles, only 2.2 billion generated from after purchase revenue. So
what I just noticed is this thing is a 2017 graphic.
It's from 2017. It doesn't include last year.
So it doesn't have Fortnite.
Oh no. Exactly.
So I'm
Fortnite's another free one.
Yeah,
that's just from 2017. So we can we'll have Chives if you could look up Fortnite's revenue in 2018.
Yeah, and that was the thing. I mean, like I said, I understand what you're saying as far as people. I feel like they may like spending money on free to play games because they're not spending money elsewhere. But then at the same time, like I said, I can't play a game of PUBG or CSGO or Overwatch without seeing lots of skins. Overwatch, I feel like, is a pretty good one with the amount of skins that you get from that. I have lots of skins in that game just from grinding things out. Like I've never spent a penny on Overwatch other than the original $30 or whatever it was that I paid for it. And I have lots of different, skins and stuff like that. That it could be, that maybe with Pug that people have more skins than what I realized. But
Yeah, but the thing about PUBG is they have the marketplace. I buy like you used to buy all my stuff on PUBG for like 11 cents.
Yeah,
For,
that's
like,
true.
Well, yeah, that's
like
how I got
Steam.
my stuff because we would open up loot crates and then I'd sell it in the marketplace and then I'd wait and then I'd buy what I actually wanted.
Yeah.
You know, I'd find
Yeah,
I got
and
the
that was a
trench
cool
coat
system.
and yeah, which it's like a bartering system, so you can like save up and then sell it and then like buy. But you're still, I mean, even though you're not actually putting money into it, you're still using currency to unlock something.
Yeah.
But the problem is, and ultimately with that system is, you can buy something with currency, and Josh can unlock it by luck.
Yeah.
So there's no sense of I earned this versus I paid for this. You know,
Yeah.
which
And the
I
only
think
reason,
should
like-
always be
And the
separated.
reason why it doesn't look as good and why, gaming companies are having a tough time with that kind of stuff now is because it's so random. I mean, if you go to the store and buy a box of Magic cards, you're guaranteed a certain amount of rares and a certain amount of mythics, like per box,
Mhm.
at least.
Yeah.
But when you Counter-Strike or like PUBG boxes, it's whatever. And then you get like the super rare item and those things go for hundreds of dollars.
Yeah.
Whereas like if you're guaranteed like a legendary item every 10 boxes, I feel like people would kind of shoot for that a little bit more.
Yeah, no, I agree. Fortnite made thanks, Travis. Fortnite made 2.4 billion by
Oh
itself
my god.
last year. 2.4 billion dollars last year.
In its first
Battlegrounds made 1.02.
What did League hit? Did League go down from the 2
League-
because they were 2.1
yeah.
in 2017.
Yeah, League was at 1.4 in 2018. Pokemon Go was 1.3 billion.
I don't doubt
Last
it.
year.
Holy crap. Because sometimes you just run out of balls at inconvenient times.
Oh no. Yeah,
But
so
the thing about League that I feel like when you play Apex, like you pretty much have every guy unlocked except for the two, which
Mhm.
are unlockable later on via points. But like League has so many characters to buy, and you only get 7 to try out a week plus your starting characters.
Mhm.
And if you want to try a character, you got to buy it or have the shards at least.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I mean, Overwatch, you get everybody out the box. Skins don't affect the way you play.
Well, that's the thing, is that we're in these free to play games, the free to play system only works properly if you can't pay to win, right? Because yeah, everybody gets the game for free, but if I can pay $20 and get better gear that actually affects my gameplay, then it's not going to be fun for everybody else.
Oh, no, it'd
Because
be
some
done
people
instantly.
aren't going to want to put money into it. Some people don't have the money to put into it. So, for instance, a good example of that is Hearthstone, right? Hearthstone is free to play, and it has it has cosmetics, I guess. On one, you can buy the back of the different decks, the back of the cards and stuff. But you can also buy packs of cards, just like Luch is saying, where you can get better cards to put in your decks. And so, unfortunately, the more you buy, the better cards you have. And you can buy specific packs that have guaranteed, whatever better cards.
Yeah.
And so you can play a match and you can literally run up against somebody that just has a better deck than you, and you cannot win no matter what you do, what strategy you do. It's just you just lose.
I've never
And
played
so
it, but that sounds brutal.
Yeah, unfortunately, if that happens, it's very, very non-player friendly. It's not fun for you when you're just okay, no matter what card I pull here, he just has one better.
Yeah.
He always has something that's better because he's opened up 100 packs versus me opening up 10. And he just has more cards.
And that's what scares me about Apex, because there was that huge issue with Battlefront 2 and pay to win items that were included in there.
That's what I was just reading. So on let's see, it says let's see, it says that if you were on the paid game side, don't rush to taunt your cheapskate opponents, because microtransactions don't only apply to free-to-play games. As Star Wars Battlefront 2 indicated, you could buy a game for $60 or more and still have to spend, so write this down, 4,528 hours or $2,100 to unlock all base game content.
Oof.
4,500
hours or $2,100 to unlock all the content in the game. Holy
That's
crap.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that was that was just another thing too, because that was EA, right?
Mm-hmm. Well,
Yeah.
who publishes Apex?
Right, I know, but it was mostly handled by the Respawn team, which is also the team that did Titanfall, and Titanfall 1 and Titanfall 2, both of which most people liked. I know Titanfall 2 didn't do it as well as they hoped, but a lot of people liked that game. I mean, I played Titanfall 1 a lot back in the day on Xbox, but so I have more faith in the Respawn team than I do in EA, even though EA is one of the publishers.
But I mean, we all know how bad a publisher can make a game. Look at Blizzard right now, and Activision just ruining that company. Did you see that? How much money they lost and how many people they're firing?
They just laid off a ton of people.
Yeah. Hundreds of devs.
Yeah.
I'm like,
not good. Not good.
Fire the sales team. Don't fire the frickin' people who make your games. Blackout was a great game.
They laid off the community manager for Warcraft.
Yeah.
I mean,
it'll be
that's unfortunate. But so,
and then you get the debacle with the Diablo at the what do you call it, BlizzCon?
Oh yeah,
because mobile games are more cost effective now.
But that's a perfect example, though, is that they're doing that from a monetization point of view. The game on mobile will be free to play, but it's going to have it's just going to be riddled with microtransactions. And the stats as far as that goes, I mean, Asia, which is going to be their mobile games market for that game, amasses 100 times more revenue in microtransactions than North America.
Really?
So
Are you serious?
Fathom that. So
is there a country that develops more to that?
What do you mean?
Like you just said, like the Asian countries. Like, was there like a
Asia? Like it's just Asia as a continent.
Oh,
let me see that. I can see if I can find the exact revenue, but it's something like it's almost 100 times more revenue.
Yeah.
Than North America, and then Europe.
I'm
is
pretty
even
sure
more than
it's
North America
because
as well.
of Putin. He makes all Russians buy skins.
Vladimir Putin skins.
Here. So all right. So it's not 100 times. It's not 100 times more. It's almost 10 times more. But
Yeah. That's
still
when you're talking about like
billions. We're talking about billions of dollars,
Yeah.
and it's almost 10 times more than North America. And actually, we're slightly above Europe. So I was backwards on that. So we're slightly above Europe, but then Asia is almost 10 times more in
But
revenue.
the thing is, we're probably 10 times more onto the PC and console microtransaction market than we are to mobile for them.
Well, their mobile market is massive, like huge. But our mobile market is actually more than our PC market in revenue.
Are you serious?
100%, yeah. Our mobile market is about 10 billion. Was 10 billion in 2018 to only about 3.5 billion on PC.
Jeez. So you're saying that people spend around 10 billion in games on their phone?
10 billion in microtransactions on mobile games a year last year.
It's freaking Candy Crush, dude. That raped
Candy
so
Crush
many
was
families.
up there. Was on number 8 in the top 10.
Because that was the thing. I heard of just millions of women that were spending so much money on that game compared to like, or guys. So many times they're like, I need, I'm saving. I'm going to spend money on a skin, and the girl was buying extra lives in Candy Crush for you guys.
I got a question for you guys.
Yeah.
What is your your most hated microtransaction?
Most hated microtransaction.
So for me,
I got it.
It's like whenever I play a mobile game or some PC games, and there's a timer on things you can do.
Yeah.
And it's like 2 hours, and you're like, unlock it now for $1.99.
Yeah.
Those are the ones I can't stand.
Those are the biggest scams, unfortunately, and they're the ones that like really, really hurt mobile games and just in general for me. Like most of the ones that I'll download and like want to play, I'll end up either forgetting about, or I'll play them for a week and then be like, okay, this is too much. Like I play Marvel's Contest of Champions.
Yeah.
You know what game I'm talking about, Luch?
Which game?
It's called Marvel's Contest of Champions.
I don't actually.
Okay, it's a fighting game. It's a kind of like Mortal Kombat, but it's with Marvel characters, and you can unlock them and level them up and stuff. And but every single thing, not only is it very monotonous because it's just you just fight other characters with the characters that you have. So there's nothing like new about it. It's just you unlock the characters and you try to get more and stuff. But everything has a cooldown. You run out of energy to do quests. You run out of energy and health to do missions and verses, and everything has this cooldown and timers where you have to wait and then log back in, unless you want to pay. And you can pay to have refreshes and revives and refills.
But, yeah. The thing about microtransactions, they're just getting worse as time go on. Like the people who actually handle whatever division that is in the company that handles how they should do microtransactions.
Marketing.
So it used to be, but I mean, it used to be, let's say like Anthem's a good, or Apex, sorry. Apex is a good thing because you can unlock all the skins by, actually, no, Apex is the worst thing I was trying to say. So Fallout 76, Anthem, Apex, before like in League, you buy a skin and you can get points enough to earn those skin.
Yeah.
However, now there's a third type of money. Like for instance, in Fallout 76, it's called Atoms, where it's saying you can unlock all the items in game. And we're like, sweet, maybe there's a schematic or something. No, you have to grind out for 2 weeks in order to get this rocket ship bench because you have to grind out the currency Atoms, which is only used on microtransactions. Like Apex has its Apex coins and then that weird blue crafting thing that takes forever to get up there. And then Anthem's going to have its own thing. Apex has its own thing. And it's like that kind of transaction also kind of bugs me a bit.
Yeah.
Like I'm totally fine like with paying a skin as long as there's a way for me to unlock it in game that isn't an entire separate thing in and of itself.
No, and I agree with you. I think, and I before I actually go to because I really hate those timed microtransactions, but I have another one that I really dislike as well. But before we go there, I don't think that Apex has to worry about the pay to win like EA because like Overwatch, you have your loot boxes where you just randomly get stuff. You can get crafting materials to actually unlock a lot of things. And if you save up, you can unlock one that you want or whatever. But at the same time, when they release a character that's not like, you don't like, oh, I want to buy that character. I mean, you can if you want. But the thing is that each character in and of itself, even though they have different strengths, not any of them seem like, oh, well, if you want to win, you have to use this person. There's not one single one that stands out and goes, okay, that's the one. If you have that person on your team, you win every time.
Yeah.
Some of them are a little stronger. Some of them have, their things. Some have utility. Some have health. Some have, offensive, whatever. None of them feel like that's the one that you pay to win. That's the one you buy, and that's the one you win your games with. And that, as long as they continue with that, which, I mean, again, we're looking at a game that had 25 million players in the first week. It is probably one of the, if not the most polished game that I have played out of the box. Like, so on release. The little things that I'm like, oh, they could fix this. They could do this a little, maybe they could change this or they can add this. None of those things compare to the giant flaws in some of the AAA titles that I've bought and played.
Oh, yeah. Well, and I mean, that kind of brings me to what Luch was saying as far as like one of my least favorite microtransactions. And I think that would go back to the PUBG was getting a crate and getting excited about getting the crate and realizing that, oh, you have to go spend money on a key to even open that crate. It was such a tease and a little bait and switch that made me really angry. Yeah. So that's probably one of my top ones.
And then you go to sell the crate, and the crate itself is 17 cents.
Yeah, right. So it's like, why even bother with that? But like it makes me question things like with how PUBG came out with their release and everything, because they specifically said, hey, this is, they released both an alpha and a beta, right?
Well, it was in beta for over a year.
It went beta?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, but they released in beta. So they said, this isn't our final form, but we're going to charge you for it. and we're going to add microtransactions. Instead of doing
to make the game healthy and to make sure production goes smoothly.
Mm-hmm. Where at the same time, it's like you put that game out for free so everyone can try it out. You get tons of feedback because now you have tons more people finding bugs, reporting feedback, like all that kind of stuff. And then you have all these more people doing microtransactions, everything. And PUBG was one of the first, if not the first, like battle royale type situation.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what else was like that? I'm asking
H1Z1.
sincerely. I don't know.
H1Z1.
Okay, yes, correct. I never played that one, so that's why it slipped my mind. But yeah, with Pub, it was a super popular one. Like everywhere you turn to, everyone was playing it. Everywhere, all over Twitch. Some of the biggest streamers on Twitch were playing PUBG. Still to this day, like those streamers
go
have
back and play,
left that and are now playing, Apex and everything. But that was so there was so much hype around this thing that there was so much potential there, and I feel like they really dropped the ball. So, I mean, what do you think it is for these companies now? Like, let's say that a company is going to come out with a game. What do you think is their sole decision on? Okay, are we going to charge for this game, or are we going to do a free to play? Like with Apex, those guys are sitting there in the developing room. What was their deciding factor on this?
I will tell you right now, I would not spend money on Apex. There's not enough gameplay there to warrant any kind of like actual charge. Maybe like $20, but like.
Wait, so you're saying you wouldn't have, like, if it would have come out as a AAA title, you wouldn't have bought it?
No, there isn't enough content there, and Blackout wasn't either. Don't get me wrong. Call of Duty Black Ops 4 wasn't much, but at least, it had a different side of multiplayer to it. If Apex had a thing like, Overwatch going for it, I'd play that.
What do you mean?
Like, 4v4 team deathmatch type thing, or like
got you. Like a actual like arena like shooter.
Yeah, if it had more modes to it, that would make sense. But like the way Apex is right now by itself, or any battleground for that matter, I don't think any battleground should be a like paid for
game
type of thing. Yeah.
Interesting.
I'd have to disagree, seeing as though I paid for two. Like, I really enjoyed that style.
Technically,
you
only paid for one. I bought.
Yeah,
because
I have a really awesome friend that everyone should take a moment and cheer for. I don't know what I'm saying.
Open up your Cash App and send
Jack was awesome. Yeah, everyone. Cash App Jack. I'm going to pay him back. And if everyone just donated $1, he would probably have $3 by the end of this week, and that would be enough for him to, I don't know,
go buy a Whopper
candy bar or something.
Maybe pack of gum. It's expensive now, but no, I don't know that I
right back in those days.
I don't think I would have bought it right away on the day, because like as soon as it came out that day, I saw Shroud was playing it and I was watching him. And I was like, man, what is this game? And everybody was like hyping it up, and they're saying like it's the new BR and it's going to kill Fortnite. And then I was like, wait a minute. And then I saw somebody say something about it's free. And so I went and I was like, man, is it out for everybody? And sure enough, downloaded it, started playing. And I was like, man, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was out. This is cool. Let's start playing. And then like I posted
Apex
it in our Discord.
Without its issues though in the beginning. I mean, I still get, and I know you guys experienced it too. Those disconnect errors are.
Yeah. But think about this, right? It's a free-to-play game that goes back to exactly what I said to start with. 25 million players. If Black Ops or Blackout had that many players playing, those servers would literally be on fire.
Yeah, we wouldn't have to wait an hour for a game in the mornings.
If that many people were playing, there would be no game because their servers would be burnt to the ground. So the fact that it released and you can play it, and that, maybe you get disconnected, once every, few hours or every couple lobbies you jump into, it's like kind of laggy at the beginning, which is, it only happens, here and there. It's definitely not a rampant issue by any means. I mean, the fact that they have that many people playing and it's still doing this well. I mean, we're in the first week and they just today had $100,000 tournament with 8 teams from NA, 8 teams from EU, and they're all fighting, and they played for 4 hours, and it was all streamed, and a bunch of different streamers and everything like that. And that was already in the first week. They've already had this, and some of the streamers like Shroud, I was watching his team play for a little bit, and he had himself had over 200,000 people watching his team.
Yeah,
just him. I mean, it's huge as far as that goes. So, I definitely give them credit for releasing a game like that, comparing it to a game like we saw the disaster of a release, and Lucci will even admit the disaster of the release of Fallout 76. There's a AAA title from a huge developer.
They made
one of the most respected. And then that comes out, and it comes out like that in that state, and not everybody, but you have all of these content creators and all these people on social media being like, how do you release a game, AAA title, that's cost $60? Some people.
Now, again, there were some that were uncalled for, that were literally just smashing that game to pieces.
Of course.
Someone sent me one that was pretty much like that. I can't remember who.
Yeah. So I got a question here. So, based on the games that I know that you guys have purchased this year and everything, some being things like Red Dead Redemption, the new Spider-Man and stuff like that. If you're playing a game like Spider-Man, that doesn't have the microtransaction, Spider-Man that's not multiplayer, is it?
No.
Okay, so it's
basically there was a multiplayer Spider-Man mode where you're just beating up.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't like talking like a battle royale or anything. I just wasn't sure like if you could connect with friends or anything. Because what I'm thinking is like where things seem to be heading, and at least if some of these companies would start paying attention, that anything that is a massive multiplayer type situation, that the way to go seems to be make it free to play so everyone can jump in, put in microtransactions, but don't be freaking greedy. Because I think that turns people off super, like especially
100%.
Me with apps on my phone and stuff like that. If I have an app that I feel like is free but greedy, like it's, oh no, you can't have that unless you buy our full version or whatever. Like I'll just delete you just for the price.
So that's a good point. So like, and again, issue with Apex's biggest issue is EA, and if they could get out of their relationship with EA.
They haven't done anything yet. They haven't done anything yet.
Who do you think funded the event for this tournament? It definitely wasn't Respawn by itself.
No, I'm saying, but they haven't done anything negative yet to it. They
haven't yet, but Activision didn't do much to hurt Blizzard in the beginning either.
All I'm saying is that from a developer standpoint, and them releasing this game like this, it seems to be all Apex's motivation and force, and just EA's money. That's all it seems to be. And if that's the way, let them do it. Let them put their stamp on the beginning. I don't care. You know what I mean?
But the thing about the money is that it's not like Respawn, the company, making decisions. It's the stockholders. And then Respawn can't say anything when the stockholders go, you know what, we need to find a way to make more money. How about we put in a rocket launcher that auto kills someone and auto locks for $5?
I don't think in a game like this with a huge community, especially off the bat, like I don't. Who's to say this thing is this game is going to be this huge forever? Every game has its rise and then has its fall.
Exactly.
People are saying, it's going to kill Fortnite. It's not going to kill Fortnite. Fortnite is absolutely huge.
Are you kidding me? Target, there's action figures of Fortnite now.
Yeah.
You can go buy kids your outfits, Halloween costumes.
And that's the thing. I feel like they're targeting very different age groups with these two games. Where Fortnite is and Fortnite, I mean, massive credit to them on being able to, do the smart move on releasing a free battle royale game when PUBG was one of the biggest things out there, but you had to pay for it. Fortnite comes out and go, nope, we're going to give it away for free. It had that look that the younger generations really, really liked it. And my kids luckily have not gotten to that kind of stuff yet. But I mean, as far as like me being a dad and, they're constantly asking me for games. They want to play this game. They want to play that game, whatever. And so like being able to go, okay, well, here's a free one that you can play. I'm not going to spend $20, $30, $60 every time they want to buy a game. I'm like, it's,
for sure.
That maybe for Christmas, I'll go out and I'll buy a big game or a birthday or something like that. But most of the time it's like, there's too many free options out there. Have fun with the free things. And then it's like, okay, well, I got a free game. Dad, can you spend $1 and get me this skin? It's like, you know what? Yeah, I could spend $1 doing something like that compared to spending $60 to go buy the game for you.
Right.
But, you know, and having all of these different people doing that, it's such a smart move. So, you know, kind of where I was getting with my my question asking about Red Dead Redemption and Spider-Man and stuff like that is, should, you know, the paid games be more of these God of War, Spider-Man, ones that they're developing massive with storylines and graphics, and you know they got big development teams like working on these things, that they're not going to get paid any other way. Like God of War, is there another way to spend money on it, or just the original, the initial
remember.
buy?
Actually, I don't know if you can unlock like. No, I don't think so. I don't think you can like unlock like different skins for Kratos or anything like that,
And
or
so, I
even
mean,
like
that's the
there's
thing,
not
like,
even
something like that-
expansions or anything.
Yeah, I mean that is where I think is a very good example of something that people don't mind paying for, because that is some, you know, when you're paying for that stuff that you're paying for super good quality content. Where some of these other things maybe not so much, and it just seems like a better business practice. I mean, at least based on like the that infographic that we have and everything. I'd like to see 2018's numbers, so I'll have to see if I can find that. If
Yeah, no, I have
you
it.
know,
here.
but
Can Chives look up how much Red Dead Redemption has made?
Red Dead Redemption, yeah, sure.
Red Dead Redemption 2.
And just as a side note, Josh, not only do I hate, you know, the little microtransactions in apps and stuff like that, and how you were saying like, oh, you'll delete it. I cannot stand when an app uses ads as their form of revenue after every single like run. You know, like something like
just
you know, like
every
something
single
like,
page. Yeah,
like something like Flappy Bird, right? Like, you know how like it's a game where you can like keep trying and trying and trying and trying and trying, like, and you might die like after 2 hops, or you might die after 50 hops. But after every single death, it pops up an ad where you can't exit for 15 seconds. I will delete the app immediately. The first one, like say it pops up an ad, I'm like, okay, maybe it's just going to throw an ad. If it does it the next time, I go through, like next time I try to, you know, make a run or whatever it might be. If it gives me an ad after that, done. It gets deleted instantly. I will not sit there and wait through 15 seconds to click an X just to run another 3-second try. Like, it's not going to happen.
No, because I mean that's the thing. I 120,000%, whatever number, I totally want to support the people that are building these games, that are working hard towards this, that are using their creative minds, that are, you know, blood, sweat, and tear poured into these games, and they're coming up with storylines, and they're trying to create these characters.
Are you talking about single player games, Josh?
No, just games in general. Like people that are really spending their time, game developers and developing companies and stuff like that. I will support you all day long, as long as I feel like you're doing it because you love what you're doing, and that you're trying to put out something to bring joy to everyone. Like everyone's having fun playing Apex together. We're having fun playing, you know, we have fun playing League of Legends and all those kind of things.
See,
you know, and as long as I don't feel like that you're doing things just as a greedy cash grab and you're just throwing things out there to get money and that's all that you care about, like I will support you until the cows come home.
See, but the thing about that is I can't imagine working for any company that makes a battle royale being a fun environment. I just can't. So first of all, there's like no art department, okay? Because there's one map, and then inside that one map are resources that have been reused over and over again. You know, rocks, boxes. You know, it's the same type of building everywhere. You got the straw huts, and then you got like the technology buildings.
Yeah.
Right? And then the characters, that's it. There's 8 characters with their own model. And then they use the same model except on some outfits, just with different colors on them. Right?
Yeah.
So the art department's done pretty much because they don't need to work on that kind of crap anymore unless they release like a new gun or some more skins. And even then it's just copy and paste, you know, colors over onto that kind of thing. Right? And then like the dev department, after you're done making all the firing systems, then for the rest of your time with that, you're just a code monkey fixing any kind of bugs that happen with that game.
Yeah, but at any point, do you feel like what Apex has done has been a cash grab, or that they've been greedy? because
No,
I haven't
Apex
felt.
definitely was 100% a cash grab.
I mean, I've poured a lot of hours into this. I think I'm the highest out of all of us at like 30 something. So I've put a lot of time in this. I have never once felt like the game was trying to get me to spend money. Never once was it like popping up going, hey, did you know that you could buy stuff in this area?
Yeah, but Josh, you know it is a cash grab because it is a battle royale. Because Apex, I guarantee you, whenever Respawn had their ID for Apex, because I think they released a trailer a long ass time ago. Am I wrong?
I don't remember.
Like a super long time ago.
I don't remember.
They released a trailer for something like that. It had a bunch of different other characters in it. But I guarantee you, when they released their concept for Apex to whoever they placed it to, EA, whatever kind of company, I bet they were like, you know what we should do this as to make money? A battle royale. And they're like, well, we actually have kind of this cool new game mode we thought we'd try, that might spice some things up. No.
I don't think so. I think you're being overly cynical as far as that goes. And I mean, you're not wrong that it's 100% just to make money. I mean, it'll sell and make, or not, it'll sell.
Battle royale is a hot thing now.
Yeah,
like, of
make
course,
money just off the skins.
Yeah, I mean, well, just battle royales right now are the hot ticket. That's some of the most popular games out right now are PUBG, the Call of Duty, the Fortnite, and now this. So yeah, as a developer, I mean, when you're trying to think of a game and stuff like that, yeah, you want to be creative, but if you're going to be like that super artsy creative type thing, then yeah, maybe you need to go after an independent title or something like that. But if you're wanting to make some serious money, then yeah, why not make a battle royale type game? But what I'm talking about is the fact of like, I can log into the game and never once do I have anything pop up on my screen trying to take me to the store. I hit play, I play my game. After it's done, it gives me all my stats and stuff like that. And then it pops back out and it says, do you want to play again? Like, I don't ever have, the different, even ads from the game or anything like that.
That's you, though. That's not everybody else. Like, the reason why was it Belgium or Norway that banned loot boxes and any kind of transaction like that?
A lot of countries
is because,
in Europe, actually.
Yeah, it was some company in Europe. I can't remember exactly which one it was. But yeah, a lot of them is because like people can't stop. And it's like not fair to the players because that skin isn't worth the $80 of loot boxes that you just spend to.
That's called a gambling addiction, and that's. I mean,
but that's exactly it. Like
that's unfortunately a person's own fault for their lack of self-control.
I got it, but they bank on that, is what I'm trying to say.
Okay, but I mean, so the developer is out to make money. They can't pay their employees. They can't pay the studio. They can't turn a profit and run as a company unless they make money. So yeah, of course their business model is going to be to generate revenue. I mean, it's up to you, the consumer, to buy what you want or not. It's not. But that's not their fault that you're going to dump.
We're not going to drop $50 on Apex to buy some skin.
Of course we're not.
Right?
Because
the majority of people will, though.
Okay, and the majority of people are idiots.
But that's what I'm saying. The game's a cash grab for banking on that is what I'm trying to say.
No, but that's every single title. That's anything that you could possibly indulge in. It's all a plot to make money. There's nothing that you enjoy.
You're proving me right. That's what I'm trying to say.
I know that, but you're saying that's like a bad thing.
No, I'm saying Apex. I guarantee you that that Apex was going to be a completely different game. It was not made to be a battle royale.
No, I don't know.
I don't think it is. And every battle royale has its gimmicks to try to trump the other one. Fortnite had its building, which I could not stand.
I wasn't a fan of that. That's what killed me on that one. I was so terrible at it that I was just like, I can't do this game.
PUBG was like the quintessential battleground. It didn't really have a gimmick. It was just, it was a battleground. And then you got, Blackout, which was, had its Call of Duty style type gameplay, which wasn't bad. I felt like the shooting in that was very nice. The body armor was ridiculous. And then you got Apex, that has abilities. Like, it's a cool thing to have, all those abilities to go around through that. And it has one of the best user interfaces out of any battleground ever.
Yeah. But
what I'm saying is I think Battlegrounds, they're not going to be existent forever. There's going to be a new game mode that comes around that's going to, appease the streamers. Whoever can get into the streamers' pockets is going to be the big game for that year.
Yeah.
I mean,
Whoever can fill those streamers' pockets, and once those streamers start playing it, it's done.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Oh, and I mean, and I don't know if maybe I just wasn't explaining myself, because Luch, I definitely see where you're coming from on here. What I was more talking about is like, let's say that you got dual screens, you pull up Call of Duty Blackout on one, and you pull up, Apex on the other. That there were multiple times where like, after you level up or something, or you're looking at whatever your character in Blackout, and you click something, it immediately jumps you to the store. There hasn't been a single time that I've had anything like that with Apex, which I thought was kind of interesting. So to me, like, seeing that gives them a very low greed level in my book. Where if we were dealing with situations like, Jack and I were talking about the mobile games, where it's like, if after each and every round on here, we had to sit through a little 5 or 10 second trailer, or whatever, of you have to scroll through or close out of whatever it's trying to go, hey, buy this skin because you did good with that character this game, or whatever. Like, here's the top 3 people from last round, here's skins for them that you can buy. Like, it doesn't even go that far. Like, it keeps it, I think, fairly contained, that if it were doing stuff and constantly throwing things in my face, that I'm quick to throw that stuff off.
Fortnite ruins the microtransactions for all Battlegrounds, because they came up with the battle pass, and they came up with the user interface for skins. Like, you can't just go into the marketplace. I could go into the marketplace right now in Apex and buy almost any skin. Right? All right, some of them I can't, because you'd have to craft them, but those are the lesser ones anyways. But Apex still has that user interface that Fortnite has, where you can buy a legendary skin, a legendary weapon, and then there's 4 not as rare skins or whatever that you can go along, and you can buy those right away. And then you have to wait a week for another one to come out.
Oh, see, I don't even know how any of that stuff works.
So why is that a bad thing?
Well, like, for instance, League of Legends, you can, as long as you have the character, I think can't you even buy a skin if you don't have the character?
Yeah, you can buy the characters.
No. I'm saying can't you buy the skins even if you don't own the character?
And it costs you more, and it'll actually unlock the character.
Yeah, but see, what I'm saying is like, loot boxes are the scourge of microtransactions. It affects people with gambling addictions. It's a cash grab way to do things. The rules for them are ridiculously stupid. Obviously, some people are luckier than others.
All they have to do is release the statistics.
Yeah,
and it's legal.
And it's stupid. And then people will be like, "Well, is super dumb." But what I'm saying is like, why can't they just go with, if I want to spend $20 a skin, I'll spend $20 on the skin of my favorite character. I would love to get Bangalore skin, that space one.
Yeah.
And drop $20 because that's the character I love playing.
But you'll be able to do that, You don't buy...
Eventually.
So you can't even do that now?
Does Apex make you buy boxes? There's no crates to buy, right?
There's crates.
You don't buy crates.
The Apex crates.
You don't buy those.
Do I buy those?
No, you don't. You can't, can you?
Yeah, you can. You have to buy the Apex coins, and then it's 1,000 Apex coins is 10 boxes.
Oh, so you can get loot boxes. So it's the same system as like Overwatch.
That's the thing. I haven't even been to the store.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is like, loot boxes are a scourge. They should be banned because they're absolutely retarded. I don't see why. If there are collectors out there, right? Because there are people who try to collect every single Fortnite skin, right? Mm-hmm. I think the estimated total of every single Fortnite skin was like $2,000 or something like that. It was something ridiculous, right? Then that's fine. If there's a person who wants to spend $2,000 on that game just because they want every skin, go ahead and do that. But the amount of money that they would have to do that to collect every skin via loot boxes is ridiculous.
Yeah.
But I'm never going to spend money on a loot box. They would have an easier time getting money out of me if I could buy the skin I want for the price. Like, again, at like, even in like PUBG or Counter-Strike, if I wanted, a freaking what was that really good? The op one, the white and orange op one that was super popular.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about? Mm-hmm. I can't remember if it was like Torque or something. But anyways, like that skin was $40. And I thought that skin was super dope. If I ever wanted to buy that skin, I could for that amount of money, and I'd be super happy. I'd be like, awesome. Because I couldn't work to get that skin, and if I did, I still had to spend money to get that skin. Yeah, you can level up in Apex it gets harder as things go on, and you're still not guaranteed that skin by the end of the time. And like that doesn't, entice me a little bit. But people like you and me, like Jack, you spend money on League so you can get the next Ari skin.
Yeah.
Or you wait for your birthday so Caleb or Josh can buy it for you. So, but that's still guaranteed money from us because that's like, oh my God, it's an Ari skin. I need this thing like now. Boom, $10
Right.
they got from you.
I didn't realize
spent
Apex,
more money on
you
League
couldn't
Jack
just
than you
go
have on any Battleground.
100%,
Am I wrong?
100%.
Because you have the option to buy
It's
that.
actually disgusting, probably. I think I emailed
But
them
the
for
thing is-
the total, and I was actually disgusted.
But the thing is, why can't they have loot boxes, right? Free loot boxes every time you level up. It's a reward system. It makes me want to keep on playing because there's a chance I could get my skin. And then be able to buy my legendary skin, even if it's $20,
Yeah.
and have that.
No,
Like,
I agree.
I think that's the system they should go for. Make loot boxes the free option, and then you can buy any of these ones that you want right now.
Yeah.
Because, and the bad thing about that is, whenever there's the option for like the Fortnite thing of the like the skins, everybody buys that skin that time because that's the only one available. And you'll be playing a game and you'll be seeing a bunch of people wearing your skin, and it's so stupid to me. Like, I remember Fortnite, there was the Snuggle Bear one.
Mhm.
It was like the pink teddy bear with the dirt face.
Yeah.
And I got that. I was like, oh my God, this is super sweet. I'm going to look awesome. Everybody and their grandmother had that skin when I first popped into that game.
Yeah.
And that takes away the fun of it. I just don't, I feel like they would make more money if they made all skins available at a time. And then, cause again, people with sense or, people like us, just not saying that we have sense or not, but that's all I'm saying is that like the system needs to change in order if they want to make more money and not get as much hate.
I think that ultimately, though, it doesn't change the genre from, whether it should be free to play or not. I think what Josh was saying, like AAA titles, like that are single player, like Spider-Man, like God of War, Red Dead Redemption. By the way, Red Dead Redemption passed 23 million copies as of February of this year. And has made
so that's $1.2 billion.
Has made over $1.4 billion at least.
$1.4 billion from a single player AAA game.
Right.
And the amount it takes to make that AAA game costs less than a Battleground because Battleground takes constant
Updates,
care.
Yes, right.
Mm-hmm. Takes constant updates.
Well, and that's
yeah. And things like Red Dead, like there will be a glitch, right? There'll be a couple glitches here and there that'll get fixed pretty shortly afterwards. Fallout 4, again, made by Bethesda, had a ton of glitches, but it was super fun because of modding. And it was one thing that you pay down payment on, and then you get things like DLC attached onto that.
Right.
And like, but games like that are just like, works of art, God of War 4, Spider-Man, Jack, you've played these,
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like in terms of actual gameplay, art style, the time it takes, story, Battlegrounds will never have that. Battlegrounds don't have a story. There might be some lore hidden inside of, whatever story is there, but it won't be, it's not something you can play through. And the game style will never change unless they add a new game mode or maybe add a gun or something along with it.
Yeah. No, that's what I'm saying. I think that 100%, a single player AAA title that's, that comes out at $60 is worth paying, $60. My issue with those, and it will always be, is whenever that $60, single player title comes out with another, like a add-on, a short story that's another $25. That's another $25. Yeah, some sort of DLC.
That did it the best. The game that did it the best was Elder Scrolls Oblivion. I don't know if you guys played that.
I played it, but I didn't buy anything, or I don't even think I
Okay, so Elder Scrolls Oblivion had a bunch of DLC, right? It had a bunch of smaller stories, and then it had 2 major DLCs.
Mm-hmm.
I think Knights of the Nine was $10, and then Shivering Isle was $20, right? But Shivering Isles was 3/4 the size of the actual Oblivion game.
Mm-hmm.
It was huge. It had its own world with it. Like in games like that where it gives you a lot of content to play for a portion of the price, I think is completely acceptable. And then they had smaller DLCs that still had their own story that cost $5.
Yeah. I mean, I think and that's fine, but I think they need to let you know that ahead of time. Like, hey, you're buying this game for $60, but then in 6 months we're releasing the second part of the game for another $25. that's what you're getting
No, I'm
yourself
not
into.
saying the second part of the game.
I know.
I'm not saying
I know what
yeah,
you're saying.
because like Fallout 4, Skyrim, Elder Scrolls, they had endings.
Right.
Mhm.
Once you beat the main campaign, that was it. They were not, carry-ons from the storyline for it. They were just places you could go to that had its own separate storyline for it.
Yeah.
But and they normally tell you that, hey, there'll be a DLC associated with it. But like if God of War, like all of a sudden 2 months from now are like, are you ready for the next epic adventure of Kratos? Were you wondering who his kid is and what he's about? Buy the new $40 DLC to find out.
And then for me, I mean, like I really enjoyed that game. So for me, that's like, am I buying a whole nother game, or am I buying like a DLC? Am I buying a DLC of like 2 missions and then that's going to be it? You know what I mean? Like Destiny 2 came out last year, and I bought the game plus the DLC, like the first season pass. I hate those season passes.
God.
So like you buy that and it's like, okay, you get the first 2 updates, and I'm like, awesome. So they're going to release these major things and these add-ons, and I'm going to, get them. So I buy the Legendary Edition and I get it. And then after those 2 come out and I play them, and I'm, super invested. My character's super high level and I have all this legendary gear. And, I'm just like, I'm keeping up with everything, all the new stuff, and I'm constantly raiding and grinding out for all the best stuff. And then 6 months later, they're like, and now new DLC. And then it's another $50 for the next expansion. And you're just like, wait a minute, what? And you feel betrayed because you didn't tell me that I was going to invest hours and hours, hundreds of hours into this game and into this character for him to be stuck behind a paywall to play with my friends. Like literally,
guys, literally, I
can't join my friends on this new planet they just added to the game because I didn't buy the DLC. That's
guys, Jack was so upset about this. Like he ranted about this for days.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Like, oh my God.
And I stopped playing. I stopped playing the game because of that. I literally stopped playing. So I mean,
that was utter ridiculous. And now look at where frickin' Destiny's at right now.
Yeah. Well, they're releasing another DLC for it. Crimson Days is coming out soon, or whatever, a new event. I don't keep up with it because I don't play. It literally lost me as a player because they weren't honest about what was going to happen at the get-go. Like that, am I buying this $100 game with this first season pass, or is this going to be a $300 game? Like, what is it? Yeah. What am I investing in? You know what I mean?
And that's what games are having trouble with nowadays. EA and dare I say Bethesda, but and there's a word for it, and it's called transparent. There's no transparency within game companies anymore. There's no, back in the day it used to be, oh man, I can't wait to see what Halo 2's about at E3 this year. It's going to be great. And then they'll be like, it's a single player game. You can dual wield. It's the continuation of the storyline. There's new enemies, but now it's well, we don't want to tell you that there's microtransactions. We don't want to tell you that there's going to be 11 DLCs that are pertaining to the main storyline, and the main storyline is going to end in a cliffhanger, and you're going to have to spend $120 to find out what happens next. But we don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah.
And then boom, Anthem comes out.
Man, yeah, I don't know. I think that if I have the option to know what I'm getting into ahead of time, like for instance, Spider-Man, I knew that there was DLCs to Spider-Man. I just wanted to play the game. I knew that if I really wanted to, I could buy $15, $25 to play the extra add-ons and like the different storylines. There's one with Black Cat and there's another with another villain. And it's like, okay, yeah, that's cool. I really like the game. I might even buy that and I keep playing it. But I know that going into it. Like I knew what I was getting into. God of War, same thing. Like I know I want to play this campaign. I don't care that there's no multiplayer. I don't care that there's no DLC. There's no microtransaction. There's no purchasable content that I want to add on to it. I just want to play this story. It wins
Game of the Year.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. It was worth every penny of what I paid for it. Right.
Yeah.
But
most of the time, if you buy it like GameStop or Amazon or something like that, if you beat it within a week, you just return it.
But see, like for games like that are really good stories, like I will keep it because I'll go back and play it again because the experience of the story is just really, really good. But on the flip side of that, a game like PUBG, how many times, Josh, I was like, I'm done with this game. I'm uninstalling it. I'm never playing it again.
Right.
So many times I literally would go to Steam and uninstall the game and get rid of it. And that's not just like I didn't put money into it, right? Other than the $30 that I spent it, but like my time, what I'm enjoying in my time, and it's the time that I choose to play something. I want to enjoy that time. If it's my like relaxing, gaming is a hobby. It's supposed to be fun. It's enjoyable. If I'm not having fun, or if I feel like my time is being taken from me and I'm not getting something out of it, then I'm angry as if I'm losing money, right? Because if my time is the same as money to me. So I paid $30 for it, which doesn't seem like a lot. And really, it's not a lot. $30 for a game, it's not that much. But when you buy it in beta with the promise of this game is going to be XYZ by this point, or it's going to be, the whole meme esports ready came from PUBG. And it was a joke. It was a year in beta. It was terrible. The desync and server lag correction and lag compensation, all of that was so bad, so bad. You could literally be shot by somebody in the game that you didn't even see, that was around a corner, because on their screen you were already turning the corner. So like the server desync was just that bad and completely unacceptable for a game that was being released as an esports title, doing tournaments, having all kinds of streamer recognition, being played and streamed everywhere. It released on console, and that right there, that makes me angrier than if I, shell out $60 for a game and then don't like it. You know what I mean? It's like I know going into it what I'm getting into, and then don't even, get me started on their terrible loot box system. Yeah, you can earn, like Josh said, you can earn loot crates to open. Yeah, maybe you open one, maybe you get something cool. Maybe you get something cool. But just maybe you get one and you have to pay $250 for a key just to unlock it for a chance to get something. And that chance is very, very small. So you get the crate, it's locked, you pay $250 for the key, and then you still get that white t-shirt that you would have got out of the free crate. And you're like, what the hell? And there's no going back from that. And unfortunately, like Luch said, there's such a huge market for people with addictive personalities that they buy a crate, they don't get what they want, and they're like, all right. And then they buy 5 crates and they're like, and they open those and they don't get what they want, and they're just like, oh my gosh, okay, well, it's got to be in the next one. And they get them 5 more and then 5 more, and you have these videos of just people opening hundreds and hundreds and thousands of dollars worth of loot crates with the chances of getting a cosmetic item in a game.
Yep. That affects nothing play style. You don't gain anything from it other than the way you look.
No, but at the same
and you spent so much time buying and going through loot crates that you haven't had time to practice. So you're more than likely getting stomped on every single time you go inside anyways.
But I mean, that's the thing. It's almost a game in and of itself. Like, and the fact that skins, like I said, customer creation and skins, to me, I love it. It would be the one downside to Apex. If I had one complaint, it would be the fact of, like, yes, you can get different skins, but there's only so many like different characters you could choose from. So even though you have different skins for them, I don't really feel like I'm changing who I am that much.
Yeah,
where I like super good customization.
Let me say something very nice about Apex that I like gameplay wise. Right, so Fortnite, PUBG, what do you call it? And Blackout, right? We talked about, toxicity in video games. When someone kills you in that, they'll come over, they'll teabag you, they'll do stupid emotes, all that kind of stuff, right? In Apex, it doesn't bother me that much, but they have, the finishers.
Right.
But there's a good, 6-8 seconds of you doing this weird emotion or something to where if Jack sees me die and then this guy tries to finish me off to make me feel, stupid about myself, and then Jack just goes bink.
Yeah.
And then the guy just gets stomped.
Yeah.
And it's like, that makes me feel good about myself. No matter, they can emote over my body, first of all, because the emotes are just absolutely terrible in that game. The only time I ever see them, they like move their arm a little bit. Like there's no dancing or anything like that. And like, but to finish someone off is like, is like all right, I killed you. This is it. But if you don't want to do that in the middle of a fight because you're going to be sitting there doing some weird slowly walking up to him.
Yeah.
And then as soon as Josh takes his knife as Bloodhound to throw it in their face, someone just walks up and punches him in the face and he dies. And he's down.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I do too. I think, I don't know. And that's the thing is that you have a game like this that is free to play that I've already dumped a ton of hours. Like, Josh, you even have more than me. And we've dumped a ton of hours together playing this game. Haven't spent a single dime, right? And I haven't felt like one time like my time was being wasted.
Yeah.
Right. And that's huge, because like we play Blackout, but Blackout's had its issues and it's, has the armor thing. And there's been several times, this is a game that I paid for, it's a AAA title. I paid full price for it. And there's plenty of times where I'm playing it and I'm like, I literally can't believe this game is in this state that it's like, I can't handle the way that it is right now. It's not fair. Yeah. Oh, and you're going to be like, okay, well, it's a battle royale. It's very, loot based and it's random and it's lucky, but it's like things like, okay, well, yeah, you can be lucky and you can get a better weapon, but if it's a case of like you get it and you win, then that's not fair. There has to be some sort of outplayability or, playing around it. And yes, you can, and the other person can misplay, yada, yada, whatever. But in general, whenever they have things in the game that just either don't make sense, don't belong, or just don't work, then it's a problem. And then it feels like it's taking away your time. Which is why a lot of people go back to, a lot of people like more casual gamers. Like I feel like that we're in the genre of, okay, well, we're competitive. We like multiplayer arena games. We like to be up against other players so that we can be like, oh, I'm better than you. We're playing, we're winning, that kind of thing. Whereas some people are just more casual gamers, right? They're not into games like this. They're not into BR games. So with that genre, people that love to play, party games, whether it's like Super Mario Party or Smash Brothers or, Mario Kart, things like that are kind of competitive, but more like, fun, the Wii games, as much as they get memed, things like that are just more like party oriented for casual people. Do you think that they are more likely to, just completely ignore anything that's microtransaction related because they have no desire to be like to show off for anybody else, right? Like there's no reason to have anything cosmetic because there's no reason to show off what they've bought.
I guess so, but at the same time, I mean, so back when we played Halo 1, GoldenEye, anything like that, if you would have had the option back then, I don't know who you liked playing in GoldenEye, but let's say in Halo, you're only playing with your friends because you're playing on split screen. Halo 1, there wasn't the option to play out there with other people.
Not yet.
If you were to pay $1 and you got a special looking armor set, you're telling me you wouldn't have done it?
No, I wouldn't have. I wouldn't have had $1 to spend, but I mean,
I think anyone could come up with $1. Like,
all right.
compared to, I mean, hell, you bought the game for 50 or whatever.
No, I didn't. I didn't have it. I had to play it with somebody else. But no, I get what you're saying. I mean,
poor Jack.
Yeah, cosmetic wise, I think that. I mean, but you're going back to like, okay, well, that's the start of Team Deathmatch, and where I'm talking about.
I think that there's people
games
in general that, like, with me, I will always want to have a skin. I don't care if I'm playing a game by myself. If I'm playing a game that no one else is ever going to see me, I will still spend 5 hours creating my character. And it's just for me.
Yeah.
Like, I like doing that. I like being able to build a character the way that I like to build them and make them look a particular way. Even if no one in the freaking world sees it, it's something that I enjoy doing. It makes me feel, some kind of weird connection with my character.
No, I got you.
So yeah, I mean, I think that there's going to be some people that don't, and probably a lot less in those type games. I think having where people constantly are seeing you Like in Apex, every time it's here's the top leaders from last round, here's the winners from this round, here's your squad. It's constantly displaying your character, so
Mhm.
it does make you kind of think about that. Ooh, what if I look different?
Yeah.
What if I did this? What if I did that?
Well, and that's the thing is
Yeah,
that
I
I
can
think that
see
they give
that.
you good options to kind of customize
Yeah.
your stuff, whether it's
Exactly.
the crafting materials or, the loot box random on like the drops and stuff. I think that things like that, as long as you have a way where you can get stuff by playing the game without actually purchasing anything, it's always the
Mhm.
system's always going to work. It's always
Yeah.
going to work because there's going to be people that are going to buy stuff, but like if you want to spend your money on it, that's your money. Like spend it. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah.
I mean, unfortunately, there's nothing that you can do about somebody that is in a situation where they have an addictive personality and
Mhm.
have no self control. Like they're going to do it no matter what, whether it's in this game, whether it's another game, whether it's at a poker table, like slot machine, whatever it might be. They're going to find a way to feed that random chance addiction. And
Yeah.
it's unfortunate, but that's why it's a problem. That's why gambling it can be a problem. And so if anybody out there has a problem with loot boxes, please get help. It's
Please.
not okay.
So I
Stop
have a
Get some
question to
help.
propose to you guys.
Yeah.
Let's say that every game that you have played in the past, 5 years or whatever is free.
Mhm.
Is there any of those games, if everything was free, all the skins free to play, all that kind of stuff was free, is there any game that you would donate money to help make sure that it continued to improve, continue to stay updated, anything like that?
100%.
Mhm.
100%.
Yeah.
Which ones?
League of Legends, 100%. I've enjoyed it so much, not from a even playing it, but from a watching it from an esports point of view, like watching and supporting Cloud9. Josh, you and I went to Madison Square Garden to see
That
LPS
was so
finals.
dope.
We've invested time, money, all of this stuff into League. Like if and it is free, but I mean I have donated money to it, plenty. I've contributed my fair share. But I'm saying if everything was already unlocked and I was just able to enjoy it, I 100% would. I would still buy their merch. I would buy tickets to go to the events, whatever it might be, or I would do if it was like a random donation. You paid, maybe it was a yearly subscription, whatever they decided to do, I would do it to play. Just like you guys do with World of Warcraft and other things like that. Like I know now you can you don't have to actually use real money. You can use gold you get in game, but I mean whatever. Yeah, for sure. League. I mean, I would have probably done the same thing with Battlegrounds. I mean, even though I complain about that game, we put so much time into it. I probably would have.
I think, probably with the hopes that they would actually do something.
Yeah, that they would hope that they would have made it better.
Seeing what the final version is, or at least the version that it's at now, compared to, I would probably be asking for my money back and be like, I donated thinking that you guys were going to actually make a change to the game, and you literally did. You added another map, but left all the same stupid crap in the game.
Minecraft, I probably would do the same thing. I played so much Minecraft back in the day. If that was free, I would have definitely paid to keep playing or support the updating of that game. I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of other ones too.
Yeah, I mean, I'm proposing this as a question, and Luch, we'll get to you in a second, just for the fact of we're talking about that there's pay to play games. Then you have your quote unquote free to play game with microtransactions. Then the only other thing could be a completely free game with zero microtransactions. And it's like, could a company come out like that and be able to pay their employees to make back the money that they put in based off donations? Like, is that something that's possible? And Luch, you can go ahead and tell us what games that you liked, if you had any that you wanted to mention.
No.
I mean, the only one that I ever would have, in all honesty, was an old RPG called WildStar. And if they actually made an attempt to make the game good at the end game, I would have donated for that so I could keep playing it.
So let me get this straight. So as many games as you've played, there's no other game that you would have been like, wow, this is really good. I should help them.
I mean,
make more
again,
games.
because the only game that needs donation is strictly multiplayer games.
No. We're
Right.
talking no. We're talking about if every game that you ever played was free.
Yeah, like if the Red
Say
Dead
God of War
Redemption
was
was
free.
completely free, or God of War.
Yeah,
Yeah.
God of War was free. You just get to pick it up and play it. Like, would you have been like, wow, this is worth $20?
Oh,
Was
I
this
thought we
worth
were
50
okay.
bucks?
Yeah, no, Fallout. Yeah, Bethesda, easy. Any Bethesda.
Okay,
game,
so
easy.
Mhm.
so exactly, so that's the point. So anything that you enjoy, so me, God of War, Spider Man, like I might play that. I might not go, okay, here's $60 because, like, I mean, in reality, do I really have $60? Yeah, I just might spend it on that because I want it, but do I really have
Mhm.
that? No, probably not. So maybe I give them 20, 25. The ultimate question in your question is, do gamers have enough maturity and sense to support a development studio by donation from what they think it's worth? You know,
Yeah.
and I
I mean, because that's the
unfortunately, I
thing.
don't have enough faith in people.
I don't either, and that's kind of where I feel like the games like what even, I mean, with what Fortnite, with League, with Apex, any of these type of games have done with their microtransactions, as long as they're leaving big aspects of the game as being free. That, I mean, where it's not like if all you could play was a tutorial and you could only get 10 characters and you had to pay to release the other ones, that game would have died out a
Yeah,
long
it would have
time
been
ago.
dead a long time
They
ago.
give 95% of the game for free, and the other portion, if you want to pay, you can pay. That kind of thing. That, I think, is a very smart business tactic. That it's like, I understand that you need to make money, you need to eat, you need to keep this game alive. There's a lot of stuff to do. That to me, it's just an optimal way to do things right now. I mean, it's the same thing with our podcast and everything. I mean, this is why we give it away for free, is we have microtransactions where $20 is $20, that if you ever want to donate, you just let us know and we can make some stuff happen.
Yeah.
And keep the podcast and everything
Actually,
going, 'cause we gotta eat.
speaking of that, we're now opening for $20 for a small fee of $20. You too can be a guest on the Bonus Level Podcast. Email us at thebonuslevelpodcast@gmail.com with a link, either PayPal, Cash App, even Venmo, and you can be on the show. So $20 flat fee.
Disclaimer: the $20 is only for the first 15 minutes of the podcast.
Don't-
For every minute
don't tell
after
him
the
that.
15, it will cost you 15 cents.
Don't tell them that.
Thank you.
I mean, I was trying to pull an EA and not tell them up front.
EA Sports. It's in
All
the
of a sudden
game.
their microphone goes out and they're like, what happened, guys? It's like,
So
you
you
must
might please
enter another.
please insert 15 cents to continue this call.
Oh my gosh, or have like a time lock on the podcast.
The next part of the Bonus Level Podcast will start in the next 2 hours and 15 minutes. If you would like to continue immediately, please insert $2.50. Thank
Well,
you.
no. So, I mean, getting it, if we'd have to probably go down a whole nother rabbit hole with this, but listening to the podcast, I was listening to one today with Rogan and Sam Harris, and they were talking about the fact that Sam Harris does his podcast very different. Rogan does his completely free, uses ads at the beginning of his podcast that he does on the audio version. Then, of course, YouTube does their ads on the YouTube version and stuff like that. Sam Harris does strictly like he was doing Patreon. He got away from that and now does like a fully donating thing, but away from Patreon to be able to do his stuff. And he was kind of going through some of the different information or kind of talking about different reasons for paying for something like that, as opposed to getting it for free. And one of the things that he was kind of talking about was the fact that because so much online stuff is free these days, we almost assume or expect things to be free. Where he was talking with Rogan, he's like, if you're putting out your Netflix comedy special, you put it on Netflix, people have to pay money to get on Netflix to watch. It's, what is it, $15 a month? I don't even know.
Yeah, it's going up to $15.99.
Yeah, so you pay that to get Netflix and you watch Rogan's thing on there. Okay, so that's $15. But if he were to go put it on like Venmo or something, or Vimeo or whatever, and charge like $3, to view his thing, people would lose their crap over it, calling him a greedy little,
Yeah.
whatever. You know, even though like if you actually were to calculate how much you're spending in what area, you're actually spending a lot less doing it that way. But it's also, I mean, it's just Rogan's getting money for putting it on Netflix. He's just getting paid from Netflix, which we're paying Netflix. And so it's almost like the transactions bouncing around different places that you don't put the two into together. And there, you know, so it's, I don't know. I think there was a lot on there that I need to go back through the podcast and, because it's something I'd like to bring up at another point. It was a very, very interesting topic that I'll pass along to you guys and everything.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, it's I don't know. I'm having fun kind of researching the different ideas between the different pay systems, and you know, this everything with these games and stuff has been interesting. I definitely know where I'm biased and all of this kind of stuff because yeah, I mean, I would definitely agree. League has been one of the biggest things over, you know, the past couple of years with me. That it's probably what I've spent the most money on. It's what I have even the most merch. Like I have full on League of Legends like real skins because I have a Cloud9 jacket. I have a Draven shirt courtesy of Jack, you know, like these different things that I have like outside the game, you know, along with stuff that I paid for in the game because I've had so much fun playing it. It's been a great, I mean, mainly the free to play games. What I think is one of the biggest things is the fact that you can play with friends because like, I think one of the things that killed, you know, pub for us was the fact that it was you and me were the only ones that were playing it.
Yeah.
You know, Caleb wasn't on there. Luch wasn't on there. Scoop was like, we didn't have everyone else to play it with us where, you know, we can get on League or Apex or whatever. And everyone's on there. Everyone's in the Discord. We're all talking together. We're all, you know, it's a way for us to kind of get together and do something, even if we live hours apart, states apart, whatever, we can hop into the game together and all play. And it's, you know, we don't have to worry about someone not being able to afford it or, you know, we can have the brokest person in the group that still has a game with the richest person in the group. And we're still all playing, having fun together. And one's not better than the other. Yeah.
But that's the thing is that, and it goes back to what you said too earlier is that, and I think it's a proposition. I don't think that gamers as a whole, because of financial status or maturity or anything like that, would be able to support every developer that's making games. Like they would just not, it would just not work. I mean, as much as I enjoy Apex, it's free. I don't plan on putting money into the game. I don't have to because I just want to play and win. My enjoyment is out of winning, out of being the best. You know what I mean? Like, so yeah, I'm not going to put money into it because it doesn't help me win. There's no reason to. You know?
Yeah, makes sense.
I don't know. I mean, I think if Apex kind of turns into something different, like if it continues to grow, maybe in the state that it's at now, I wouldn't. But I mean, that's the thing. I mean, League of Legends is the same way. You don't pay to win or anything. You like doing stuff with your characters because it's fun. So like if Apex were to expand, giving me more of a reason, I feel like with the content that it has available right now, that there's not. I don't feel any urge to want to spend
maybe that's a better way to put it. It's like as it is right now, I just have no reason to, you know, going forward. So, but anyway, we're going to bring it all back around. And I think that ultimately we've come to a conclusion or at least an understanding that
flat out stop charging money for your freaking multiplayer games.
If it's a multiplayer game, you know, that's something that's going to be competitive. Just release it for free. Let everybody play the game. And if it's really good, if it is enjoyable, people are going to dump money into it. They're going to want to look cool. They're going to want to show off to their friends. They're going to want to give stuff to their friends. And that ultimately is the way to make money. On the very flip side of that, if you aren't a multiplayer franchise, you're not a multiplayer game and it's going to be a single player, put your money into making the game epic. If I pay $60 for a single player game, I want to be immersed in the story. I want to come out of it feeling like, wow, that was an awesome journey. I loved every second.
You want a Spider-Man, a Red Dead Redemption.
Exactly.
Like,
and for those single-player game companies, please don't make multiplayer games for a cash grab. It won't end up well.
Yeah,
if they want to put them out there for free, go for it.
Sure.
I don't care if you're putting things out for free, but I think that people are starting to catch on to the fact that paying for multiplayer games like Blackout or Pub or whatever, that eventually people are going to go, okay, like I'm paying for these things and I'm not getting anything any better
Yeah.
than the free stuff.
Yeah.
And people are going to stop. Like if Apex, like if it would have came out and said like, that they were charging $25, $30, for the game, it probably would have been a while before I made that jump to it.
Yeah.
I mean, luckily with it being free, there was a lot of hype and everyone kind of went to it, was able to try it out, and free, why not give it a shot? Boom. It was, I was hooked after that.
Yeah, for sure. Sounds good. And with that, we conclude the fairly easy going and fun level 20.
I think we can all agree who the final boss was, and that is Destiny 2 Forsaken.
Oh, God. let's not talk about that.
Because Jack will never beat it.
It's
the unbeatable boss.
As we walk through level 20, I turn, I look, and there Destiny 2 stands in the mountains, looming overhead.
As we see Destiny 2 Forsaken, we see Jack walk off into the corner toward this ATM-looking machine where he deposits $20 to move past this stage.
Because we have to. And that's ultimately what happens. Because I want to be able to go play with my friends and go to level 21. So I'll dump the 20 in and move on to level 21, which will be next week. And
yeah, buddy.
Thank you all for chatting with us. We do have one final announcement. We will be and have already launched the Bonus Level Gaming Twitch channel. So in this description, if you've made it this far into the episode, you can find our Twitch channel in the description below. It's at Bonus Level Gaming. And we'll be streaming all sorts of games there. Apex Legends, the one that we've talked about a lot tonight, we'll be streaming that there. You can come and find us on there. And you can also join our Discord, join the party.
Join the Discord. Come join the party. And don't be a twat.
But yeah, so that's happening. It's already up, and you can find the link below. Come follow, and we hope to see you soon, right?
Sounds good.
From all of us here at the Bonus Level Podcast, we hope you have a wonderful week.
You will be sent a bill.